Great Debaters Contest is powered by Blaze, by Safaricom, the Youth Network.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Great Debaters Contest. This is the Eldoret edition, and I am Austin Yumbok. We have Wareng High School and Metetei, and their motion is education is a key to success. A very classic motion, and I hope the best can be done. Proposer number 1, you have 3 minutes.
Fellow Kenyans, ladies and gentlemen, scientists sat down and came up with 3 infinite things in this world. 1 is the universe. 2nd is human stupidity. And 3rd is education. My name is Jeff Gerald from Wareng High School, here to strongly propose the motion that states education is the key to success. But before I get there, what is education? Education is facilitating learning or giving out knowledge, skills, value, beliefs, and habits. What is success? Success, in simple terms, success is accomplishing aims. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I was seated on a chair doing my research, and I found this in my pocket. What am I holding? 100 shillings note. I can run it if you want to see it. This is a 100 shillings note. Where in this note is success measured? Where is in this note is success measured? Success is not the amount of money you have. Success is based on your own goals. Success is based on your own aims. We are at the Great Debaters Contest today. And one of the things I've learned is SDG number 4, which says quality education. Quality education. We have various types of education in this world. One being the modern schooling. Our modern schooling, we are in school right now, right? Second being the traditional schooling. I can agree that even up to today, we live by the relics of the previous century, right? Ladies, you're taught how to sit by your moms, right? Men, we are taught how to approach a girl, right? Definitely. All the ladies in the house, we all know how to cook, right? These are relics of the previous century, the traditional schooling. We also have our day-to-day learning activities. Every day is a learning day. Every day is a new day to acquire a new skill. To me, that's my aim. So if I accomplish it, I have accomplished success. We have various successful people in this world. They don't live on education. As I've said, education is acquiring skills, habits, and beliefs. That's why I say they don't live on education. Institutional education, to clarify this, they live on skills and knowledge. Thank you.
Opposition, you have 3 minutes to make your argument.
Once again, I'm Evans Kibunge from Metetei Boys High School. Education is the key to success. Let me start first by defining the terms. What is education? Education is the process of acquiring knowledge for purposes of decision-making and reasoning. We go to success. Success is attainment of high social status, e.g. attainment of our goals, while key is a way to get through something. For example, if you want to go through that door, you have to have a key. The motion is stating that if you have to be successful in life, therefore you must have a key, that is education. But we are saying no. Why? First of all, education kills a lot of creativity. If we look through if we look back since education began, education has been the same. There's been the same. We are learning from the same environment. We are learning from the same classroom. We are learning the same things, and we are also being taught by the same teachers. Things are changing. It is killing creativity in such a way that there are people who have been successful who have never stepped into class just because of their creativity. Through education, we are focusing majorly. Our creativity is being controlled by the things that we read. We read a lot of information which are not that much helpful that can help us succeed. Secondly, education is expensive and at some point is a wasteful resource. Think about this. Someone goes to class just because someone goes to class through the education system because it is required. His parents have sent him to school because he doesn't have a passion. He doesn't have a passion for education. He has gone to school because it is a necessity of the government for all children to be educated. Now, look at this. We have, for example, this singer called Arvil. Arvil went to school. He studied until he got a law degree. But Arvil is not pursuing an educational course right now. She's doing music, and she's a very, very successful woman in terms of music. Meaning, if she could have focused more in music, in that part, instead of focusing more on education, he just did education because it was a must by the government, and he presented the law degree to his parents. Okay, fine. There's the law degree. I finished what you wanted me to do. Now let me go and do what I want to do. Thirdly, education is through education. Have you ever realized that you can have education, you can have knowledge, but you're not wise? Let us think of our great-grandparents. They had knowledge. They never had knowledge. They never stepped into class, but they were very wise. We never had any situation whereby they were not able to make wise decision. They were not able to make wise decision in the past, simply because they were wise. But somebody can go to school, can acquire a lot of education, but you still find that person doesn't have a job, is not wiseful, or even is engaged in other things which don't help him be successful. Thank you.
Time for rebuttals. Proposition, you have 3 minutes.
I would love to disagree with my opponent. He said that education is killing creativity. I beg to differ. We are here right now. Creativity hasn't been murdered by any method whatsoever. Creativity is why I'm standing here today. Also, he mentioned something about music. Music, you say that the person that is engaging in music, any student who engages in music, is going to lose education. But you turn out to be a new person every single day. You dwell on music, you learn the new instrument in town, the violin, you name them. You're improving day to day. You have kind of supported us. Education is good. Thank you for the support. Now, I would like to pick up from where my colleague Jeff left at. He spoke about, he gave us the definition of education and success. And in his definition of education, he said it is the acquisition of habits, values, skills. I'll major on values and skills. What is a skill? A skill is a form of education that leads to success. I am a great example of a skill. Right now, I'm standing in front here. I have a skill, the debating skill. I was taught debating skills in class. During the English lesson, we have oral narratives. We are taught how to maintain eye contact, how to walk, to be confident, bold, That is a way of learning, and I'm applying it right now, this minute. The second way of acquiring skills is through cooking. Gentlemen in the house, any gentleman in the house, show me your hands, please. Thank you. I know one day you'd love to settle down, raise a family, have a wife, get children. You'd also love to feel content with the cooking of your wife. I watched a Nigerian movie, and the girlfriend when the boyfriend used to call and say, "I'm coming home," the girl used to rush out and get to a canteen and buy a meal. Who wants to get a meal from a canteen? The way to a man's heart is through the stomach. Akoko, in her book, The River and the Source, supports this very well by saying that to snare a man's heart is by the words of your mouth and the work of your hands. What is the work of your hands? cooking, a skill that was taught in the traditional African society by great grandmothers who taught the girls how to cook. This led to a very successful home for Akoko and any woman who lived in those ages. Also, we are talking about values. I mentioned values in my first, when I was speaking. And what are values? We have values like honesty and behavior. Honorable Matiang'i is a great example of honesty. He has been able to uphold the education docket, something I'm proud about, something that I can stand and say that equality, I'm going to walk into the university because I deserve it. This has brought success. I am a woman, and I am so sure that education is the right path to be taken. Kandi Kolum, Wareng.
Opposition, you have 3 minutes to make your cross-examination.
Let's talk this over. It's not like we're dead. Was it something you did? Or it's something you say? But they don't know me. Do they even know you? Held up so high, they are such a breakable threat. If I stood at the beginning of time with the possibility of having a general and panoramic view of the whole human history up to now, then the Almighty turns to me and asks, Clement Rono, which age would you like to live in? I'd first take my mental flight by Mount Olympus, then settle around the Parthenon, and I'd watch Socrates, Euripides, Aristophanes, and Plato seated around the Parthenon as they discuss great and eternal issues of reality. But in spite of its magnificence, I'd not stop there. I'd come to the great heyday of the Roman Empire and watch various empires and leaders as they played their roles into whatever Rome it is today. I'd cross all those generations, then come to the 21st century. But allow me shed some light on some few characters who have been able to succeed without education. Bill Gates, Mark Zuckerberg, Mike Adenuga, Bahati, the Kenyan musician, Richard Branson, Said Salim Bakresa, Steve Jobs, and very many other politicians amongst ourselves. Bill Gates actually said to have never gone to school. If he did, then education never helped him. Right now, as we speak, he founded Microsoft, one of the richest companies in the world. But he does not beat Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs at all never stepped into anyone's class. But today, as we speak, Apple is the core of every person's communication device. Steve Jobs' company, Apple, as we speak, holds 70 trillion Kenya shillings, that is, if it is to be converted, worth of shares. But still, let us shed some light onto our own Africans. Said Salim Bakresa dropped out of school when he was 14 years old. Today, as we speak, he owns the biggest flour mill in Africa, that is Kipawa Flour Mills, which feeds Rwanda, Tanzania, Malawi, and Mozambique, but without education. Let's cross over to Nigeria. Mike Adenuga is the 5th richest man in Africa. Mike Adenuga's company produces 10,000 barrels of oil each and every day. But this guy dropped out of school when he was 11 years old. Now, let me ask, which school in this world teaches skill? At all, skill is not taught in any school, not even in Kenya, not in East Africa, not in Africa and the world at large. Cooking comes from someone's heart. No school teaches cooking. No school in this world teaches football, but Cristiano Ronaldo has been able to manifest because of his talent. Be blessed. May the perpetual light of the Almighty shine upon each and every one of us. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your question. The proposers have been asked, since they suggest that education is the key to success, can they say that talents do not contribute to somebody's success? However, and the opposition have been asked, can they validate the point that there is no school that teaches cooking? I now invite the third proposer to make their argument and answer the questions.
Kamau from Metetei Girls and the audience in general, this is an advice to you. talents are nurtured, and one way of nurturing is educating. So when you nurture, you educate. My brother has masters. One day my uncle told him, man, you're successful. But my brother said, no, I want to get married so that I can be successful. And unfortunately, his girlfriend was there, and he said, but I'm here, I'm going to get married to you. My brother says, yeah. And this is because I was educated, because I learned my mistake from my ex. And that's not being angry to women. And that's how he proposed to her. I, Danvins Opio from Wareng High School, I want to be successful in life. And being successful in life is learning education. Thank you, Jeff. I'm in Wareng High School, but now I know different aspects of education by your definition. And let me tell you, believe you me not, that a farmer's child together with a king's child can dine together in one table. Can I show you how this is possible? A farmer's child educates his child to be an engineer, the same way a king does. One day, they go to a meeting in Nairobi and sit in one table. That's true education. And through that, education will promote equality. Equality is not only for them, but to the whole world. Equality is something positive, which is successful. Let me give you, brothers and sisters, a quote from Nelson Mandela. Nelson Mandela says, education is the only weapon to conquer the world. He did not mean go and sit in class. Today, I'm learning to be a leader. I'm standing here learning to speak to you people. I'm not in class, I'm in a podium. Let me tell you, tomorrow I'll be a successful leader because I even know how to speak to my people. Another thing I want to tell you, brothers and sisters, about education is not only found in school, as Jeff defined. When you go back home, your parents teach you values. And it's not only at this time. Education also starts from the ancient time. A book used by most of us called Christians. I can quote words from Daniel chapter 1, verse 4. It says, in order for someone to serve the king, he should be knowledgeable, learned, and knowing the principles of the Chaldeans. That is found in the Bible. And in order to be knowledgeable, you need to be educated to have knowledge on something. Was that a class during the ancient time? I don't know. Maybe if I ask you now what you want to be, some of us will tell you, I want to be engineer. Some of us will tell you, I want to be a lawyer. But one thing you forget is you say that because of money. One thing you forget to say is, I want to be a successful lawyer. I want to be a successful engineer. I want to be a successful man.
Opposition, you have 3 minutes to answer the question.
Well, I'm Timothy Biama from Metetei School. The guy just wants to be an engineer because he has been brainwashed to do only one thing. Well, to answer the question, home science is not cooking. Home science is home science. That's just a reinforcement of what's common. Education of singing is something absurd. How can you be taught how to sing? It's just simple. You just practice on your talent, and that's all. To my first point, education is very much expensive. For example, take this example of a slow learner. A slow learner, one, will have to be bought stationery, uniform, and paid school fees. But he or she will still have to redo the course because of being what? A slow learner. Okay, he said that he wanted to be an engineer. I myself, I haven't been taught how to speak in public, but it comes from within me. Now, lack of education, using your talent can pay more than profession. We have an example of Professor Hamo. He's being paid more than a normal teacher. You see? We have MCA Tricky, paid more than a teacher. You have Frasha, he's a musical artist, but he dropped out of school and he is now paid more than what he would have earned. Another point. Job tamaking. We have people who have studied up to the degree or master level, but have not still found job because there's a high demand of that job, and there are many people who want to do that job, but he or she has been trafficked. Now, it wastes time. You can imagine one studying through the method 844 system, but still cannot get any job. What was he doing in that 16 years? Just wasting a life, one precious life. A fish is always born knowing how to swim. If you teach a fish to climb a tree, it will live its life knowing that it's stupid. And I rest my case.
Time for final submissions. Proposition, you have 1 minute.
Ladies and gentlemen, let us not live in the world of fantasy. Like, seriously, how can you teach a fish to climb a tree? I want to repeat the definition of education to our opponents to get it clearly. Education is facilitating learning or the acquisition of knowledge, skills, value, success, and habits. My friend, if I mentor you today, you'll not be the same as tomorrow. You have acquired something. You are educated. Am I right? Ladies and gentlemen, every person here is educated. A madman is educated. The only difference between me and a madman is that the madman is mad. This is a tree. This is a leaf. Education is not measured by what you have, but by what you acquire. Money is just a branch of success in education. Ladies and gentlemen, if you don't want to be educated, if you believe that education is not the key to success, change your locks.
Opposition, you have 1 minute to make your final submission.
Now, 114 years ago, Wilbur and Orville Wright never went to any class. But today, as we speak, Boeing is making the biggest aeroplane that can accommodate up to 1,000 passengers at a go, with a minimum speed of 1,046 kilometers per hour. Not that those people are educated, but those people had skills. Today, that wall clock is a wristwatch in my hand, not because of education, but because of skill. Allow me to quote the words of Martin Luther King Jr. Before he passed, he said that if you can't fly, then run. If you can't run, then walk. If you can't walk, then crawl. But no matter what you are doing, you have to keep on moving. Thank you.
Wareng, Jeff, very strong, fair definition. I love the variation of education. And I think from the definition of education, from where I sit, acquisition of knowledge, skills, values, beliefs, and I think that was all across the board, which was very well commendable. Strong speaker. Nonetheless, I think the only demerit that you had this time round is trying to critique or rebuttal a quote by Albert Einstein, the one for if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, you don't want to sometimes critique a quote because that's a saying that has already been put in place. Candy, very well. I think this time round you were even way better. I think that was very commendable of you. Composed very good presentation and citations. I like the literature, Coco examples and all that. That was very good to indeed build your case. Opio, one word, excellent. I miss this Opio, you understand? This was very good.
Metetei, Evans, very good introduction. You defined the motion. At a point you said Avril and said he, but you corrected yourself later, said she. Still, you're a very good debater. You should continue being this good. Clement, catchy as usual, well read. I loved each and every one of your comments on these things because it shows how much you've been reading. Keep doing that. You become a good debater and even better and better. Timothy, you're always good. You try to be better even next time. Thank you.
Wareng High School and Metetei. Metetei High School, you are awarded 71%. Please give them a round of applause. Wareng High School, the judges decided to give you 72%. You're our winner for the debate. Thank you very much. Now we'd like to congratulate the two teams on stage and thank you, our studio audience, and our viewers back home. Keep watching and keep the conversation going. Hashtag GDC for SDGs. I've been your host, Austin Yombok. Thank you for watching.
The Great Debaters Contest is powered by Blaze, by Safaricom, the Youth Network.